Networking and marketing made simple is for you, the business owner who has a product, a service, or a message that you believe in. My name is Scott Aaron, and each week we'll take a behind-the-scenes look into the real-world marketing and networking tactics and strategies for getting what you have in front of you to a lot more people. Thanks for spending time with me, and now let's get started. So super excited to announce that Spotify for Podcasters is actually sponsoring this episode. And if you've ever thought about having a podcast, Spotify has a platform that lets you create one, and it's super easy. And then you can actually distribute it everywhere you want for people to listen to and even earn money. So Spotify for Podcasters lets you record, edit, right from your phone or your computer, which is actually how I started. So no matter what your setup's like, you can start creating it today. Then you can stream it out and distribute it to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Now, the other cool thing is that video podcasts are also available on Spotify. And if you want to take the conversations with your fans to the next level and the people that are listening, you can do Q&A and you can do polls to get people talking. And with Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money a variety of ways, including ads like this, podcast subscriptions, and so much more. And again, it's totally free with no catch. And ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, formerly Anchor, it's been such a game changer. I'm approaching 500,000 listens. I have multiple people subscribing to my bonus episodes, and it's taken my business to the next level, and it could take yours as well. So again, check out Spotify for Podcasters today. It's completely free, and don't wait any longer. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Networking and Marketing Made Simple. Super excited for today's episode. Obviously, for a number of reasons. Number one being it's another interview episode, and I know how much all of you appreciate the stories and the journeys that all of these entrepreneurs share of how they got to where they are. But number two, I'm excited to talk to this person today because my wife and I, we always talk about promoting yourself and putting yourself out there. And there's two sides of promotion. There are self-promotion, where you are talking about what you do, who you serve, offers that you have. But then there's the product side of promotion, where you want someone to become visually understanding of a certain brand. You know, think about when you're at the supermarket, right? You know, you recognize labels. You know, what's inside that label is the product, but the promotional label is what attracts you to buy it. And that's why promotional products and promoting a business or a brand is so vital and so important for that recognition that we're all looking for. So we're going to talk about all that and more. So Swire Ho, welcome to today's episode.
Thank you for having me, Scott. That's a good way to introduce promotional products.
Yeah, you know, I think promotional products get, I don't know if they're misunderstood, or people think, oh, what can I use a promotional product for? And I know people, you know, we're recording on video right now, and I'm just going to show Swire this. So this is a little mouse pad that we use a promotional marketing company. We give away mugs that have our branding and our image on there to all of our members. And I've ordered from this company multiple times, and in that package this last time, she actually made us these nice little mouse pads that have our logo on there, and it's a promotional product. So just think about this, and I'm going to turn it to you. You know, in the day and age that we're in, where so many people are on Zooms, you know, at any given time, we have 40 to 50 people in our program that all have these mugs. And if they're drinking, you know, their coffee or their tea or some water out of our mugs, and that person on the other end is seeing that logo, they're like, what's the Expert Authority Mastermind? What's that company? So it actually draws up conversation. So, you know, before we dive into everything about promotional products and everything that you're doing with companies and individuals, if you can rewind the tape and go back to the very beginning, what do you feel was that moment for you, or that aha moment, that catalytic moment that kind of led you on the path that you're now still currently on?
I think it's funny that no one will go to school or study to become a promotional product distributor, right? So I don't think there's anyone I've talked to actually do that. So I actually started doing promotional product in our previous business where I was doing CD and DVD replication for record companies and film company. So along the way, after they finish the album, they're going on tour. They asked, do you guys do t-shirts and hats so we could sell it on tour? That's how we kind of stumble onto this industry. And in 2013, we sold the CD and DVD part of the business and focused exclusively on promotional product. I think it's fun. I think I am a curious person. A lot of times I dive into what the clients would really get to engage with their audience. So, and I get to touch and play with different products all the time.
So going back to obviously the CD, the DVD, that promotion side of things, what do you feel learning in that experience, working with, bands and musicians that rely on promotional products? So if you think about it, I was a big time concert goer back in my younger days, and you better believe, I would run over to that, promotional product area, and every tour they had a different shirt. So I would get a new tour shirt, right? Because, number one, as the consumer, I wanted to let people know, hey, I was there. I went to this little tour that was out there. But for the band that you were going to see, every time that person puts on that shirt, it's promoting that band. So it's giving them a visual advertisement like, oh, let me check that band out, where they can, now go on Google or social media and learn more about them. So what do you feel was the biggest lesson that you learned spending that first part of your career in that DVD and video promotional period that allowed you to, or maybe understood, say, what, great experience here, but I really need to park it over on the promotional product side instead?
Well, Scott, there's a lot of good points in there. And if you really dig deep into the figures now, especially with nowadays, if you are younger generation, you probably might not know what a CD and DVDs are, or you might not purchase one in the past 10 years. So musicians actually don't make a lot of money on their album with iTunes download and Spotify, whatever that will be. They actually make their most money when they go on tour. And for example, let's say they buy a t-shirt from me, maybe $5 to $10, depending on how it's decorated. If you've been to concert recently, you know that concert t-shirts at least sold for $50, and there are a long line buying your favorite band t-shirt. And you're right, Scott. And the next day, what are you going to do after you buy the t-shirt? You're going to wear it and go to work and go to gym, whatever, there you go. And then you actually became a brand ambassador. So people will ask, who is that band? Is it good? Then you would tell them all about the experience, what you had, over the weekend or last night, and then you're actually promoting the band. So check them out. They're on Spotify. They're on wherever your streaming platforms are. So you actually paying money to buy the item. You promoting the brand without them paying you. So you actually become an ambassador. And a lot of people don't think like that in the economy of scale. They think that buying promotional product, you are giving away money. You are just throwing money out there. So if you work it creatively, you can actually create additional revenue, more brand awareness, and you can also create customer loyalty at the same time.
Yeah, people call it merch in the the music world, like, the merch tent or merchandise, like, and again, bands or they'll sell anything, whether it's like bumper stickers. That's another good one. I used to have the band that I used to follow as a band called Fish. I used to have their bumper stickers all over the bumpers of my cars, because again, but think about that. That's almost like a driving billboard. So, for every car that's behind you that's staring at your bumper, right? They're seeing the logo of that band or the name of that band, which gives that, again, that brand recognition and that brand visibility. So talking more about merchandise and promotional products from a business standpoint. So let's kind of position it in the sense of, you're a brick and mortar business, or even you have an online business like myself and my wife. For those that are listening to this that may also be running an online based business, what is it that they need to know about promotional products that may be a good fit for them, that, as you mentioned, are not only good visual representations of the business and the brand, but also that brand recognition that we're all looking to get?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think if I could press one point, during our conversation, Scott, is everyone who is ever considering buying promotional product, it's not what you want to buy. It's what your audience would like to receive. Something there's a big disconnect, with the conversation that I've had with my client. I really like this tote bag, but then I ask them question and serious question of who are your target audience are? Where were they going to use it? Are they really going to use your tote bag? I know a lot of people have tote bag, but doesn't mean that you have the tote bag. And to go on the record, promotional product is another tool. Scott, you talk about social media, you talk about web development. I know you're a LinkedIn expert. These are all tools that could promote your brand and position yourself as the authority. So a promotional product is an extension of your branding. So for example, if you are strive for a luxury experience, for example, then your promotional product got to be in line with your message, or you're promoting environmentally friendly. Don't buy something that wrapped in 6 to 7 layer of plastic and people need to throw away. So that product, whatever that you choose for your target audience, needs to remind them and keep them top of mind that your company is there. So whenever they thinking about emotionally, or when they need your product and service, you're the only company that comes top of mind.
So going back to when you sell the the DVD and the CD aspect of the business to focus just on promotional products, what was the moment, or what was the reasoning behind selling that portion of the business to fully go all in with the promotional product side?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think hindsight is 2020. That was actually a very good time to sell the business, because 2013, if you remember, is where our internet got faster. Netflix is getting better to the point that it's almost, you can't tell the difference between the DVD and the streaming. So a local competitor actually wanted to purchase our company. So that was a good transition. We always wanted to do something else. And so I think promotional product is what comes to mind. And then it will keep me more creative. I could work with a lot of different industry, talk to a lot of unique individuals, try to find out what's going on and who do they want to reach out, and if we can find something that could connect with their audience.
So I have a very diverse listening base, and some of them may be thinking, like, are promotional products for me? Where would they fit within the brand recognition, the brand visibility of myself? Talk to that entrepreneur or that online business owner that is contemplating or kind of mulling around in their mind, like, is promotional products even for me, and is there a space for that, and could I even benefit from it?
Well, there are a lot of points, but I think the most, argument that people would challenge me is it's all about digital marketing. I just need to buy Google ad, focus on the keywords, or buy, social media, just retarget my audience so they will buy from me. But what about you have a model, let's say $500 budget, and you wanted to create engagement on your social media posts? Instead of spending dollar to do the sponsor or sponsor listing, what if you buy one thing from me for $500 and put your company logo on it? Instead of just doing a regular post, create a sweepstakes and define your call to action. Maybe follow us, maybe subscribe to a newsletter, maybe share it to a friend, tag a friend, and then you get a chance to win that product. So it kind of help you jumpstart or multiply your reach, because now you have an actual physical item that people want to do. I can't tell you how many times that I sign up for a newsletter and do all that just for a chance to win a $10 gift card.
So with where we are in the digital age, and you made a really good point, because social media has taken over, online marketing has taken over, advertising, all those things. From a promotional product side, because I see such value in it, like it makes Nancy and I feel so good when we send all of our new members a custom mug that has our logo on it, because it's unique. There's only certain people that get that. Where do you see the world of promotional products going into the future, not just from, I would say, a large scale business that, or like a law firm that has branded notepads and pens and those types of things, but in the age of the entrepreneur and the online entrepreneur that we're in, where do you see promotional products going along for the ride with this rise of the entrepreneur into the future?
That's a good question. I think it's all about create that experience and build on that relationship. Like Scott, from what you're doing with your program is, once they sign up with your program, they're thrilled to learn all the information from you. And by you giving them a branded item, so what you're doing is actually similar to what the band are doing, the t-shirt that you buy. So if they receive something that they like, what they will do is they might post it on their social media. I'm happy to start the course. I'm happy to learn the information. And then they will actually take a picture of the item that you sent them with your logo on it. So your client may only have 10 followers, let's say. I'm sure most people have more than 10 followers, but these are the people that they can actually influence, right? We can all influence 10 immediate people surrounding around us. I couldn't tell you, my wife belongs to a mommy group on Facebook. Those group, they change a lot of buying decision, where we go to eat, things that we buy after school program. If one mention of your brand or whatever service that you do can change, and being promotional product is another talking point to keep people on top of mind and get a conversation started for the experience.
Staying top of mind is so important for any company, small, mid, large, online, offline, brick and mortar or not. It's just such an important aspect and something that we all need to think about. So, Swires, for someone that's listening to this podcast that maybe has a group coaching program like myself and Nancy, maybe they have a branded podcast, they have a branded coaching program, where do you see promotional products fitting in with that type of business model? And outside of the examples that I cited, which were our custom mouse pads and our mugs, what are some common promotional products that someone that has a business like that could offer their audience, whether it's on a Shopify page or even something that they can send as a thank you for joining one of their programs like we do? What kind of promotional products are good for those types of businesses?
Yeah, that's like the most popular question that we get asked. I'll answer it in two parts. One is you wanted to grow your audience, right? You want to be out there. You want the brand awareness. So first of all, doing the sweepstakes definitely helps. Create the right call to action, newsletter, sign up, or maybe a consultation phone call free, right? Just to win that product. So then you can get your name out there. And especially a lot of people don't think about that. After they purchase your program or use your services, what are you doing to retain those people? Are you just say, forget about it, I'm moving on to the next client? A lot of us actually spend $0 in effort on customer retention. So by keeping these people happy, by keeping them loyal, they will actually be your best ambassador to promote your brand. Or maybe they have a friend or colleague that might need your service, and that person could be a walking testimonial for you. So with the right product that is relevant to your audience, you can actually turn them and coach them to be an ambassador. Because I could write a review, maybe a yes, good service, but if I actually coach them and remind them of what I've done for them, and I would like you to share with your community of what I have done or helped you, would you be able to put that on there for me? And as a thank you, I will send you this gift where you could use it, for your own benefits. So these are some thinking, right? You wanted to have the relationship, and that item will come along once you think about what kind of experience you want people to have. And really, the item is there, and it's just your thought as an entrepreneur to think about what kind of experience you want your current client to go through.
I think one of the most important things that you said was the tote bag example, right? And much like anything that we do from a marketing standpoint, and promotional products is another sect and form of marketing, right? Because there's people that They have stuff out there that, whether they're selling t-shirts, and you see YouTubers doing this all the time right now, right? They have merch stores. So if someone really loves the person's YouTube channel, hey, we just dropped some t-shirts. Hey, we just dropped some hats and zip ups or whatever it is. But you have to take a temperature of your target audience. It's not so much about what you would use, is what would your audience use? Would they use a tote bag, or would they more likely purchase a mug, or, because they might be tea and coffee drinkers. They may not be active people that are going to use a tote bag for doing this, that, or the other. So, before we kind of wind down, whether the marketing tactic is to use social media or to use promotional products, how important is it for that business to really understand their target audience when it comes to the right promotional product for visibility?
Well, I think without knowing who your target audience are, without identify who they are and do a lot of research on it, I don't suggest anyone to spend any dollar in marketing. If you putting money on Google Ads, not knowing who your target audience is, your money go out so quickly that you don't know what happened. So define it. Don't be afraid to go for a niche. Like if you only targeting maybe moms that go to yoga class who has a son in elementary school, that's your niche. And you're okay with that. There might be someone that you're missing out as of today. But if that's your niche, and if everyone in those categories know about you, then you're already running a very successful campaign.
I could not agree more. So, Swire, before I get to my last question, for people that are interested in learning about you, where to connect with you online, your podcast, your company, how can people find out more about you and what you do?
Thank you, Scott. So the name of my company is GarudaPromo.com. If you want to find out more about promotional product, feel free to visit our website, Garuda Promo. I'm always on LinkedIn, so just find me, Swire Ho, on LinkedIn. And Scott actually been a recent guest for my show called The Small Business Show. So the episode is probably going to drop in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned and listen to Scott's episode.
Awesome. And obviously I will cross promote it back to my audience as well. And obviously everyone's going to love this episode. So Swire, last question before we sign off today. What does success truly mean to you?
I believe success is who you define for yourself. A lot of times that we get frustrated because we're not defining success on our own term. We are looking at what other people are and we try to model it, and we actually derail ourselves. So be honest for yourself. It could be really small. It could be an ultimate goal for you, but be happy with what you are. And that's what I would define the success will be.
Awesome. Love it. And for anyone that's listening, any and all of the information that Swire talked about, his company, his podcast, his website, you will find that in the description below. Swire, thank you so much again for being here today.
Thank you, Scott.
So again, for anyone that is listening to this, please leave us a rating and review, whether you're listening on iTunes, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We love hearing back from you. We love getting feedback because we want this podcast to continue to be your place for learning networking and marketing tips for your business. So in addition to that, don't forget you can start your networking and marketing made simple subscription today for only $2.99. You can get a bonus Friday episode that is privy to you and you only. So check the description of this episode of how to unlock your subscription today. So everyone, please enjoy the rest of your days, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much again for checking out today's episode. And if you are listening through iTunes, Spotify, wherever you are, please leave me a rating and review. Let me know what you loved, what you would like to see improved, or ideas you have for future episodes. And if you are interested in taking your business to the next level, don't hesitate to go to my website, www.scottaaron.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me, where I can learn more about you, your business, what you're struggling with, and how we can work together. And don't forget to check out my wife Nancy and mine our free community on Facebook called LinkedIn Leads for Life. We would love to see you in there. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you everyone for your support. Grateful for each and every one of you.